ice cream treats from Sam's Club. So every class had individual treats for each child. And then we had some Rice Krispie treats that we were able to send home for our students that were flex learners or at-home learners. So from what I heard, the kiddos loved it as usual. I think they were able to enjoy them outside. It was a nice day. So yeah, altered a little bit, but it was still fun and still something good to do. So Little Library, we got that kicked off last week too. So if you haven't been to the Circle Drive, the Little Library is right there in front of the school. Make sure you look for it. It's super cute. I think it turned out perfect. Down to it has pencils in front of it, just like the school has at the Circle Drive there. It's so cute. We did do a little live broadcast of it. I know the kids in school saw it because they came home and everybody had to tell me how they saw me in class. So that was exciting. Right now, we do not need any donations for books. We are fully stocked, and I think we have some backup reserves too. And we made that kind of clear in the online post that we did that we're not asking for donations. We are doing it where if you take a book, you get to keep the book. So it's not a borrow and return due to the COVID situation, just because we don't want people bringing stuff back. So yeah, we have that just kind of being monitored by the librarians and keeping it stocked, and it turned out great. So make sure you look for it next time you're by the elementary. So yeah, anything I'm missing on that, Ashley? Feel free to jump in.
Nope.
Okay. Club's Choice. I feel like this is the meat and potatoes of what we're working on right now. I know I've been checking it daily and watching it and encouraging all the kiddos I see. We are able to see what's happening online for sales, which I have no idea what percentage that's going to be. I know in years past, it's typically been less than half was online. But again, with this year being so different and people doing so much more contactless stuff, I think that could be different. Paper forms are due tomorrow, which hopefully we'll get a big stack of them, but I'm sure there will be some that come in even next week after the break, which is fine if we can get the bulk of them in and started. Online sales right now, you guys, we have sold, and I haven't refreshed this recently, but we have sold $29,389 for a profit, which is coming straight to the school, of $12,228.40. So I think that is awesome. I know we had no idea what to expect this year, with families possibly having hardships that, we haven't had other years and stuff. Clearly our students and families and community is rallying. And so that's exciting. Yeah, so there will be more playground equipment. Now we just have to get the paper forms turned in, counted, sorted, all that. We have pickups scheduled, and that was something we just talked about as a board. It's going to be a little different this year too, trying to make it as contactless as possible or as few people in and out of the school. So we're looking at starting pickup at 4:00 in the afternoon on that date.
And I will about 2 weeks before, I will get a Sign Up Genius out to the teachers and the newsletter and all that stuff, so that we can get our helpers there.
And that's November 12th, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Thursday, November 12th.
All right. So any other questions or comments on Club Choice? I know we talked a little bit in the board meeting about it. Just it's been a little bit of a learning process this year with the new company, but I think overall it's pretty smooth. I know I thought it was really easy to invite our family and friends to get involved, but sharing it on Facebook and sending out text messages. So does anybody else have any feedback or any questions about it?
I was just going to add that the kids really enjoyed the videos that we did within our classrooms. That was really neat, and it made it nice to fit into our schedule so that we could show it within the classroom and be right there to answer questions. That was kind of more personable, actually, I thought.
Okay. Versus like bringing the whole grade into the library is what you've done here, right?
Yep,
Okay.
I thought that worked well, actually, this year.
Okay.
That's great to know.
I have a feeling Dan would probably prefer that too. I mean, it's got to be easier on him just to have a video that goes out than to travel to each school and do the presentation 4 or 5 times over. So cool.
And I know there's been a lot of confusion over the pandas. It's either the pandas or the cows that like to cause a lot of trouble. So, because the packets were they were generic. And it talks about the coupons on there. Well, we elected to not do that for many reasons. One of them, COVID, and then the other one, feedback. So, there was just a little bit of confusion there. I know that the teachers probably are enjoying not having to worry about the pandas. But we will make sure that all the kids get their pandas. So
Definitely. Yeah, I think, like I said, it's a good learning experience. There's been a few things that have popped up that if we are with Club's Choice again next year, we will be able to address it up front, and our parents are going to learn and be ready for it too. So it's not a big deal. So perfect.
Don't worry. I even had a freaked out moment where I was like, Jill, Dan said there was going to be a lot more items if we went online, and I only see what's in the catalog. And anyways, then we realized that if you switch ship to home, then you get a lot more items. So there was, even for us as, vice president and president, we had a lot to learn too. So thanks for your patience. And we, of course, want any feedback and stuff too. So
I have to say too, just from kind of the president viewpoint, working with Dan makes those things so much easier. He literally is on my speed dial where I just quick send him a text and I'm like, sorry to bother you on a Sunday night. And he's like, no worries. And he gets right back to me and answers me. So it seems like the majority of the questions have come through on the weekends for some reason. So I'm like, hey, it's me again. Happy weekend. But he's always happy to help, and he's right there with the answers, which I fully appreciate, because then I can get back on Facebook or wherever the questions are coming in from and respond. So he's wonderful. And most people aren't going to ever know that, but I work more with him. So
yeah.
Perfect. Ashley, do you want to talk about the next one, the teacher grade request?
Yeah, so I wasn't sure when we were going to bring this back, so I just threw it on the agenda again. Thoughts about, we had talked about maybe doing something extra for the teachers.
Should we maybe put that back to a board meeting?
Maybe. I'm wondering.
So many teachers in our group right now.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is there, it might be better for a board meeting, but I was, are we at that point where teachers are really in need of a grade item or something like that? But I did have my first grader's teacher just sent out a Sign Up Genius the other day for the items that she needed for her classroom. And by the time I got on there, that thing was almost full. So I just thought that was a really great idea, because I want to give back to my teachers, but I don't know what to give. And if you just write it in the newsletter, if I have something I have to sign up for and I've accounted to that, then I just feel like, I just thought it was a really great idea from her standpoint, because like I said, the thing was full by the time I almost got on there. I did get something, but what were you going to say, Laura? Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think I forgot, because I was thinking about my first grader's teacher has an Amazon wish list that she puts on the bottom of the newsletter, which I like, because I can just click on there and add stuff to cart, and it says how much is needed and how much has been purchased, so I know, if she still needs it or not. And that's been really helpful, just from a parent perspective who can help and wants to help. I think what I was just thinking about teacher grade requests, I think that Megan was going to sort of take charge of that. And I know she had to hop off the meeting. So I don't know if that's
right.
We just go back to as a board, or at least bounce back to when Megan's back, because I know she was kind of going to take charge of that. So
I would say parents have been super, super generous this year with us doing like wish lists and things like that. Parents have been amazing. I know for like me, like as I'm like looking into like individualizing station type things, because they can't share items, there's been things that have come up in my head that I'm like, oh, I might need this now, or I might, there's little things like that. But I always try to put it on like a wish list first and try to get it that way first, and then then try to figure out a way to.
And in this Sign Up Genius, the teacher had the links, so it took us right to exactly what she wanted. And it was just super slick, and the stuff's coming in the mail here from Amazon, and I will just send it with my child, and she knows who to expect it from. And I just thought it was a really neat idea, because I've been wondering, how can I give back to my teachers? I don't know what you guys need. And some of them they needed 20 some of pencil boxes to make individual things, and all 20 slots were full, Yeah, that's a little side thing, but I just thought it was really slick for the teachers that are on the meeting.
Yes, tell us what you need, because as a parent who's done some homeschooling, we appreciate you more than ever, and we've always appreciated you a lot. So
yeah, we'll give you whatever you want right now.
The kid can keep going to school. Yes, it's amazing what you guys do. Wow. All right, so Comet gear and Comet Pride stickers. I know we last year towards the end ordered 300 Comet Pride stickers. And we had them at the teacher parade that we did, which was kind of a tough time for people to stop and buy because it was just such a full event. So we kind of had put it on the back burner saying we would sell those this year. We were selling them $3 per sticker or 2 for $5. And then Comet gear, we are looking at, just so you know, the board discussed this, we are looking to do an online option for the Comet gear ordering. Since we're not gonna be able to be there for the conferences to sell them in person, I think it would be a pretty easy transition from what we were doing last year, where we had the order forms and different logos and different styles of shirts, just getting that online. So we have some people contacting others to see what's gonna be the best portal for that, as far as, will it go through the school? Will it go through a PTA PayPal thing? But we're looking to get that up so that it can be something that's just there year round. So anytime you need Comet wear, you can check us out. Support.
And maybe we can put those stickers on there too, Jill, now that I'm thinking about it, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I think that would be easy enough to.
Then we can send the stuff home with the kids and things like that. So
cool. So a family fun night. This is something that I know Ashley and I talked about this just briefly after our little library ribbon cutting last week. I know last meeting we talked a lot about doing this virtual. I think based on where our county is, we're a month further in and it doesn't look like we're heading in the right direction. We're definitely not going to be doing anything in person, I think is a confident answer. So then the question is, do we want to try to put the energy and effort into doing a family fun night? I know, Ashley, you said Community Celebration Church is having something the night that we would have been planning on doing that.
Yep, and maybe something else, I can't remember, but I do know Community Celebration is having a big Halloween celebration that night. So I just worry, you know, like what are we competing with, you know?
I think too, my concerns, having a child who was home for 14 days and listening to just those, I don't know how many people were in a grade, maybe 20 kids. But when the teachers had it unmuted, it was pure chaos and craziness. And it was fun. It's fun for the kids, but I think it would be tough to do something virtual that's controlled and still interesting and fun, because nobody's going to want to listen to like one person call out bingo numbers over and over. There's no energy there. But at the same time, if we unmute a bunch of people, it's going to just be too much. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are. That's just kind of where I'm at. I think it would be easy enough to do, but at the same time, then the other question we had is prizes, which was half of the fun last year. We had a lot of scarves and different donated things and stuff and books. Obviously that wouldn't be feasible. And I don't know if we could do something where it's at the school and they pick up, but then again, it's contact. So you guys talk. Let me know what you're thinking.
Yeah, we are looking for your guys' feedback on this. Thoughts, anything.
One of the big things that we have at our fall fun night is the pumpkin carving contest.
Yes.
I wonder about the possibility of maybe submitting a picture of your pumpkin, and then I feel like a voting, a survey, something like that might be easy enough to do, to have, I don't know.
I think that's a great idea.
Fan favorite. I would judge them still. I know it's like my least favorite, most favorite job of the year. It's like super hard to pick them, but we could do something maybe with that.
Yeah, and we could put together some prizes to get to you to give to the kids.
Sure. I feel like that.
I think that's a good idea.
Kind of a tradition that we've had that may be doable, that kids could participate in that. They wouldn't have to participate in school. It could be, you know, participate with your family at home if you choose, kind of thing, through our newsletter or something.
I think that's a great idea. I know Heidi and Laura have been really good about on our Facebook page posting things like, hey, show us your pictures and your kiddos in their homecoming gear. And we have had tons of responses to that where the page is just flooding with people posting their pictures. Obviously, we can have other avenues for parents to submit pictures, but I think it'd be a fun place to showcase them too would be on the social media sites. Yeah, and I know we still have a lot of scarves left that were handmade from a parent. I think another fun thing, I know there's a fun ice cream shop in town that all the kids are loving and excited about. So talking to them, maybe see if they want to, give us a deal on some gift cards that we could give away as prizes or something.
I was thinking that too the other day, Jill, that we should check with them and see that would be a good prize. Yep.
Yeah. And I think even just doing like a $5 gift card there, because the ice cream treats, you could easily get, something delicious.
So should we, for that, should we do like, you can post your pictures on Facebook. You can send them to us in the email, kind of like we did with when we put together the slideshow, like last year for the teachers. And then we will get them all, and then we'll put them without names on them. We'll have to make sure we tell people don't, it's just a picture of the pumpkin, because it's got to be secretive to Ariana, because she doesn't know whose pumpkins they are.
And I'm really not on social media that much, so it's not going to be hard to fool me. It's going to be easy. Good.
So as long as we know, but at least I'm happy to compile that stuff and send, our,
yeah.
thing.
And it might be fun to do a fan favorite, They always want to vote anyway. Every year people try to vote.
I was just thinking that too, like maybe we could put it out and we could put all the pictures out there, and whichever one gets the most likes or whatever, on Facebook, something, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
So what categories do we want to do? I think in the past we've had, is it 4 usually, or is it?
Yep, usually we do one that's like school spirit. We do most creative or something of that kind.
Scariest.
Yeah, and then like the best character, because there's always a lot of character type ones, I feel.
And I wonder if we're gonna get more this year, just because it'll be easier. So maybe we should just, I don't know, feel generous. Maybe we should just do a couple extra.
Yeah, I can come up with more themes. Did we do most colorful? That's always one.
Oh yeah.
That's a real deal.
You're thinking about ones that are easy for you to pick on, aren't you?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It is. What's another one we've done?
Have we done like funniest or silliest?
Oh, I haven't, I don't think.
How about we do silliest?
Sure.
We have scariest, so we'll do silliest.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Teachers, is that a word? Yeah, okay.
Most silliest, just to be sure. Oh, that's not a word. Yeah. Corrected by the kindergarten teacher.
It's not a word, is it?
Darn it.
Silliest is, but don't say most silliest.
Okay.
I think it would be most silly.
And silliest. Okay, I gotta be proper here, guys.
That's good.
Okay, well that's 7 that I have written down. So if we think
I
about
have
it,
5, so I must have missed a couple.
Okay.
It's okay. Whatever you have written down.
Yep. So Ashley, do you want to come up with kind of a flyer announcing that we can put out? Sure. You're good at the flyers. That's why I'm calling you out. So
anything else? Any other ideas or thoughts or suggestions on anything that we could do to liven up this time of year? Without our it's my favorite time of the year too, guys. I love the Halloween party. And so I'm really sad, but any ideas? Other than that, I think that's a great one, but.
Do they normally wear their costumes or what?
Yeah.
Could they do like a drive-through parade in their costume or something? They're just so excited about their costumes. They want to show them off. I don't know.
I think it's especially with the temperatures being so unknown and it's pitch dark and daylight savings happens before Halloween, I think this year too.
It happens on Halloween.
Oh, on Halloween. Okay.
Well, the next day. Yeah.
I think we could easily do the submit photos thing again too. I mean, we've had a lot of luck with doing those, and then the video.
Maybe we could do a costume contest too. Have some of the same categories as a costume contest too.
I think even just giving them a chance to show off their costume, even if it's just a picture that gets posted, is
that's easy enough for Heidi or I to do on the PTA social media page and stuff like that.
And honestly, I feel like being on social media is almost famous. I mean, you're almost famous.
That's true.
It's true. So, okay. Good idea. So we'll kind of add that there, costume. And that will be something, I mean, I think the pumpkin contest will kind of be leading up to it. And then the costumes will obviously be that night. They'll be posting them. And so that'll be the following week, kind of getting those up there too. So excellent. All right. Any other family fun night discussion? Going. All right. Parent education. Have we gotten anywhere different with that? I know last month we talked about some different topics. We felt bullying was still an important one. I think cybersecurity came up just because of all the online stuff. I know our kids are learning how to do computers real fast.
Boy, yeah, I think cybersecurity, but now that you say that, boy.
I mean, I've talked to countless parents who we've all gone out and got Chromebooks for our kids, which my kids are probably on them right at this moment because, so suddenly it's more device in their hand, which is a new world.
And if you don't have security, yeah.
So even online safety and managing screens for your kids. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
I think that there's that piece too, like what's too much, what's not enough, what expectations should I have for my child? What is infringing on their privacy and what is just being a good parent? Like, where's the line? How do we do that? I don't know.
What apps should we unnecessarily avoid? Just different things like that. I like to know,
I think too, now that I know in our family, we went from Kindles to Chromebooks. And I felt like with Kindles, it was so easy to just be like, here's your little box and that's all you can do because there's parental controls wazoo. And the Chromebooks, well, yes, they're using a school email address. So there's certain things that are getting blocked. It's way more than what we could do on the Kindle form. So as a parent, I'm like, teach me how to block these things or teach me how to limit what they can get to and whatnot. So
my children now already know how to they know to go to Common Sense Media and check out the rating before ever asking their mom for anything ever. Because I'm like, I'm sure you already checked Common Sense Media. And they're like, oh, yeah. And on they go and look at it. So there's certain sites.
I didn't even know about that. Is that tells you kind of like how safe something is, or?
Yeah, there's a parent rating and a kid rating. And it tells you a little bit about, how much violence there is or how much, within an app, what kinds of like a game, there's different ratings that it provides.
Nice. See, I'm learning something new already.
So, yeah, I think just all of that might be helpful.
Anybody know of
Ariana,
good
do you
speaker? Sorry, Joe.
Nope, you're asking the same question as me. So,
okay.
Anybody?
I don't know. I can send out some thoughts, but if anybody else knows somebody, let me know.
Okay.
I can send, we have a couple of pretty decent IT people that work with the county that I still stay in pretty close contact with that do all the Olmsted County IT stuff at the government center. So they may, I'll shoot them a message and just see if they have any interest. One probably more than the other, but if they have time, and they might be really busy with work in general anyway, but I'm happy to ask. So I will send them a message tonight when we're done with the meeting.
Looks like Kate might have a connection too.
Yeah. Katie has a connection maybe. So yeah, Katie, if you can ask or, anything. Because I definitely feel like right now is a great time to be discussing this because I'm just excited about what I just learned. from Ariana. And yeah.
I think sometimes too, even turning to like the sheriff's department, they might have some resources or handouts or information that we can pass on to. So,
and I think it would be something that would be easy to do virtual, obviously, because it's learning, like these type of things. And so, yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my son got his clarinet tonight and he has been so excited. It's just the sound coming from the other room is killing me. So if you hear a little like honking, he's learning.
That's awesome.
So yes, very excited. We had to make an emergency run to Rochester to pick it up tonight. So okay. So conference food, let's talk about that. Again, I feel like nothing is like it has been in the past. So Ariana, you might have some insight as far as, do you know what conferences are going to look like at this point, or do you have an idea?
They will be virtual. Fall conferences for all 3 buildings will be virtual.
Okay. So then the next question is, do we still want to feed our teachers because they're there all day long?
They are, yes.
So
we do.
My big question, I think it's very easy. They always say, we don't care. We love anything you give us. And Chinese has always been a hit. Pizza has always been a hit. But do we want to reach out to parents for home goods like we have in the past? Because I know we get a lot of home baked items, but then we also get a lot of bags of chips and such like that are. So, and I don't know how you feel about, your
I don't know how I feel about that either.
Because they're going to have to drop the stuff off and, that type of stuff. So.
You got to consider too, we have Chinese spread out in the conference room. And if every one of your teachers is filing through that, or not conference room, break room, they probably don't come in contact with each other every day. And then all of a sudden we're putting them in the same space within a short time.
I think at the last meeting, we talked about trying to find somewhere that would individually meal things. So like if the new Mexican restaurant could do to-go containers that have all the same things in them, and then they can get dispersed maybe to the pods, and then the teachers can retrieve them from their pods. That eliminates kind of a gathering. That's,
And maybe the Chinese lady, couple, could do that, like do little, if we talk to them.
Even if it wasn't individual per teacher, even if it was per pod, like we have.
Oh, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, like maybe there's just an area, because we see the people in our pod. That's about it. But then at least, and you usually have a break at a different time than your colleagues anyway, because you kind of schedule in your own breaks. So maybe that would be okay, and not as much packaging.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. And then we could do pizza too, like this pod gets this many pizzas, or, whatever. And I mean, you guys can decide what you want, but I'm just thinking, like, and then Chinese food, like we can do a couple things for each pod that you guys could keep in the middle, because you're right, there's not going to be students roaming through there, in the middle of the pod. So
I was just going to ask that, like, how do we feel about having food there? But you're right. They can't.
No, I actually was going to ask that too before I thought about it for a little bit. Remembered that we were virtual.
I love that idea. Thank you, Brandis. That's a great idea. I saw your message that, I think we can easily say, individual bags of chips we're looking for rather than big bags of chips. I think the biggest one is
individual and prepackaged would be appreciated if possible. Yep, that's what we're going to ask for.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I think even if each pod had a couple bags of chips, that was just to that pod, like you said, you do see each other. But yes, individual when possible would be great. So okay, and I think we can look to, like, if the Mexican restaurant's in town, I'm sure the Chinese place would be willing to accommodate and just do smaller portions, or
split up the portions a little bit. Yeah, I think it'd be easier if we, like Brenda said, if we don't do each teacher, if we do just pods, and that's only 5, it's a little bit easier than all the teachers getting individual items.
Excellent.
All right. And then just looping back on the chat here, Elizabeth mentions that she will check with the sheriff's office to see what resources they have. So
yes, I will. Sorry, I was muted at the time.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure it got written down.
Excellent. So one thing that's not on the agenda that came up in the board meeting was last month we talked about Casey's Rewards, and we had some parents who had asked if that money that they had been choosing to give back to the schools had been coming in. Ariana did some great groundwork. She remembered. And we are going to get paid out twice a year from Casey's. So far we have not received payment. Looks like we're going to we started in March. Is that what you said? So
yep, we started promoting in March just as we were closing for COVID. And so it will be November or December that first payment happens, and then the next payment happens back in that kind of March, April area. So
okay. So watch for future updates on that. So yeah, that is all I have on the official agenda. How about you, Ashley? Did I miss anything other than roundtable?
Nope, that's all I have.
Okay, so this is roundtable. This is your chance if you have any questions or ideas that you want to bring up. We'll kind of turn it out to the group and see who has any thoughts they want to add. And we're all going to talk at once, I can tell. I think we might have a good wrapped up group here. I do have one question. Ariana, okay, Katie, are you the one recording this? I see record in your box, or is it being recorded by
me?
Thank you. Okay. So where will it get posted?
It comes to me in my Google Drive, and so I can turn it into a YouTube video if that's the easiest way to share it out. Just let me know what you want me to do.
I think so. And then I think we can have Laura and Heidi putting it out. We can have it shared in the newsletter. That way, if anybody wants to sit down and watch us talk in a bunch of squares, it's there for them.
Yeah, I think Heidi's not here tonight, but I'm sure that she would say that was fine. So I think once you turn it into a YouTube, just shoot the email over to either of us or both of us or whatever, and we'll just make sure it gets posted on the social media page. So
perfect.
Cool.
I think too, having those archived on our Google Drive would be great too. It's amazing how a year later you're looking back and you're like, I know we talked about something. Where is that? So
I will share it with you and I don't think I can give you ownership because you're outside of the comments domain, but I will share it with you and it will be forever in your drive.
That's perfect.
That sounds great. I have something that just popped into my head actually. So normally, we would normally kind of talk about this next month, but I just want people to start thinking about it too. Normally we kind of do a 4th grade hat mitten drive. We should just start to think about that. What the thoughts are about that, what the rules are about that this year, all those things. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there, being that we got some time. And
we always have kids keep the hat they take. So that is not an issue. If we are doing a drive, they're going to keep them, and it would just be talking about how long things would need to sit before we would send them back out.
So we'd be okay with used items coming in. Normally we, ask for gently used items.
Probably with hats, we usually do new, don't we? Or did we do used?
I think there's always been gently used or new.
Yeah.
Okay. And I may have washed them at school.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I was wondering that same thing. So
Or did we do a sock drive last time?
Nope.
Okay.
That was 2 years ago.
I don't remember.
Last year we only did the hat and mittens.
Okay.
And the 4th grade put it on again.
Yeah.
And then I'm also bringing it up so that the 4th grade teachers I can't remember who's kicked it off last time, but they can start thinking about that too. So.
Okay. And we will, we'll look at what we have as a stockpile here and see if there's what that looks like and what the need might be as well. Okay. We'll check into that too.
Excellent. Yeah, I think the sock drive was done for Care and Share. And this year Care and Share is we just had a board meeting today on that, and I don't know what that's going to roll into this year either. It's very different. So I think sticking to hats and mittens would definitely be where we go with this if we do. So just taking that off. Okay. Anyone else have any ideas pop in? All right.
Or thoughts on anything that we could potentially do for our students during these times that's different? I don't know. Just kind of any thoughts are greatly appreciated this year. So just be thinking of things. You don't have to say it now, but if you randomly get a great thought in the middle of the night and you're like, hey, that might be fun to do, that we can do virtually or whatever, shoot us an email.
Babies and puppies, all kinds of fun things joining us tonight.
Love it.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks everyone for all you do. Teachers, you're amazing. Parents for participating and helping support. It's such a great organization. I'm just so proud of this community and everything that's done. So thank you so much. And we'll keep you updated on the Club's Choice fundraiser. I think, like I said, that's the big one this week. So I'm excited. I'm excited about where we are already. So it's only going to get better. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night.